Numerous people joining us from across Canada. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us back online tonight. It's been a full day for the World Duchenne Awareness Day and certainly for us participating in the Walk to Defeat Duchenne. So welcome everyone.
Hi there.
Hi, Nicola. How are you?
Good. How's it going?
Good, good. So I think everyone is just joining us online. We have a couple more minutes before we begin. It's up to you, Nicola. If you want to turn off your camera and mute yourself, that would be awesome.
Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. And for those of you that are just joining us online, Nicola works at Jesse's Journey. She's our Director of Research and Advocacy. And she joined me on a broadcast earlier at about 5 o'clock to talk about her personal experience with Duchenne muscular dystrophy and her role at Jesse's Journey. So that's on our Facebook page, along with 4 other live stream broadcasts that we have saved to our Facebook page. So if you missed any of those broadcasts, please do go to our Facebook page at Defeat Duchenne, www.facebook.com/Defeat Duchenne, and you'll see all of our live streams from today, along with a whole bunch of other information and resources about World Duchenne Awareness Day and the Walk to Defeat Duchenne. So I see a couple teams have joined us. Williams Wookiees, thank you so much for joining us again tonight. And I see the King family's back online. Peter Yonka from OE Canada, we are so thrilled to have you as our gold sponsor, and thank you again for joining us. And thank you for that lovely message, Peter. He says, congratulations on an outstanding day. You guys did an incredible job. Thank you, Peter. It's only possible from sponsors like yourself and OE Canada and all the amazing participants that we've had across the country and beyond. We've had, fundraisers from the States and from Australia. And as you can hear, I'm getting notifications on my phone of, new donations coming in every moment. And I'm very excited for Perry to share our total that has been raised today online. So thank you everyone for joining us. We'll just give it a couple more minutes for more people to join us online, and then we'll get going. Wonderful, and Jackson's Fighters online. Thank you so much, guys. Hi, Jackson. Chris, it was so nice to meet you on our live stream this afternoon. It's the power of social media, right? Getting to meet people for the first time through, the powers of Facebook, and it's so fantastic that we're able to connect with each other safely across the country and beyond. So thanks so much for joining. We are going to record this webinar tonight. So for those folks that are unable to join us tonight, I know that, time zones and such, and it can be a little bit difficult this late in the evening, but we are recording and we will share this, this closing ceremonies to our Walk to Defeat Duchenne on our social media, YouTube and Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So we'll just give it a couple more minutes and then we'll get going. Wonderful. Okay, I think it is, it is 7:01. So let's get started tonight with our closing ceremonies for the virtual Walk to Defeat Duchenne. I will introduce our Executive Director, Perry Essler, that you've seen throughout the day. Perry, over to you.
Thank you so much, Rochelle. Appreciate everything that you've done today to keep people connected across the country. It's great to meet all of you again socially here this evening. It has been a wonderful day from what I've seen through pictures and through social media and all the rest. And you may have heard that I did participate in the Founders Challenge, and it was something that I was honored to do, knowing that John and Jesse did this distance in 1995. John did it again in 1998, as many of you may know, and we're going to meet somebody in a minute who has done it for many, many years in honor of her son as well. I will tell you that I'm a little sore this evening. It is not something that you just get up and do, and said, you know, my wife and I, when this whole thing was first hatched back in late May and early June, we decided that we would start training and participate in this, inspired by each and every Duchenne family that I've had the honor to meet while being at Jesse's Journey. And while I may be a little sore, that's the least of the issues. I read a quote that John had penned a little while back, and it goes like this: when you want to make a difference, quitting is not an option, and everyone should try to make a difference. So quitting was not an option today. We had inclement weather in the London area this morning with thunderstorms, but fortunately, at least for my wife and I, it may have caught some other walkers out there this afternoon later in the day, but we got through it dry. But nonetheless, we had a great time doing it. And knowing I was wearing that red shirt on World Duchenne Awareness Day and partnered with all of you, it was a pleasure to do it. So great to be with you here this evening. My thanks go out to the staff of Jesse's Journey for sure. Rochelle did a tremendous job over the last several weeks and throughout all of this, getting all of it organized and getting it communicated to you, the families across the country. So she had some volunteer help today by Lauren, also who worked with us this summer. I want to say thanks to Nicola Worsfold, Matt Gennaro, and Rick Moss as well. A great staff team that I get to work with every day. We also had some volunteers this year who helped us really bring this thing together. And you met one this morning in Reverend Kevin George. He's on our board of directors. So thank you, Kevin, for stepping in this morning while I was about the 23K mark and couldn't get connected in the middle of the trail. Mallory Teal, she has a Duchenne connection, and Terry Jenner. And thanks also to the King family, who you see on your screen right there. That's Stephen and Dylan and Sandra King and their family for participating as this year's ambassador family. I think it's important that we have a family that we can represent all of the families across the country on World Duchenne Awareness Day, and specifically with our Defeat Duchenne walk to Defeat Duchenne. So thank you very much to the King family for your participation. Always great to have you, and you are, of course, from London, Ontario. Could not do this without our sponsors. Rochelle mentioned Peter Yonka. He's with OE Canada. Thanks to the OE Canada team for participating this year. They work in the computer and printing business. So if there's anything you might need, think of OE Canada. Silver sponsors, Western Pro Resp and Dave Jones, St. Aidan's Anglican Church. That's Reverend Kevin George. We got Bluestone, Green City Produce, and Above and Beyond, as well as our media sponsor. And Chorus Entertainment is, of course, across the country, but we work with them here in London to create some media in the London area and in other places as well. We had supporters from all over the place, all across Canada. You know, when we first talked about doing this, obviously COVID changed the idea of what we were thinking of doing, and we always have done an in-person walk, and we were headed for that again this year. And while COVID has changed our lives in so many negative ways, it seems, for many people, in this particular case, I think it helped unite the country of the Duchenne community in a much different way than we had before, because we really had an opportunity to connect with families and have people participate in various parts of the country and then share their photos. You see folks in the US, we had people also participating in Australia as family connections, and it's absolutely wonderful to see so many people coming together on what is World Duchenne Awareness Day, but also in support of Canadian families and Canadian families coming together. We have met more new Canadian families to us at Jesse's Journey over the last year than at any point previous. And so it is great to have you all connecting in various ways and sharing photos and coming together on this wonderful day, not only to raise money, but raise awareness as well for Duchenne. And I think we have some photos that we want to share with you this evening from the day. These are some of the supporters and walkers that were out there today. We've got the Denisic clan out in the Saskatchewan area. McKenna the dog showed up today in her shirt. And we got Kasha Mitten with her son Jude from BC. Sean Lavery and his boys in the Toronto area. And this is Dante's Courage there with the wheelchair and the big tree on the right. And of course, Team Dillon represented on the far right. So great to see so many people out participating today. And of course, the Founders Challenge, which is brand new. And that was really what we thought is a way to connect people in a completely different way and to honor the legacy of 25 years ago. As you know, through the story of Jesse's journey, it was 25 years ago that John and Jesse left in mid-May and finished in late September, walking all across Ontario to initially raise funds and raise awareness for Duchenne research. And so as we went to a virtual format, we thought, what better way to do this than to sort of honor that, create the 33K challenge, which was the distance John and Jesse covered almost every day during that summer. We'll meet Laura in a minute. The McCullough family in Regina did it earlier this year. The Anderson family of Waterloo did this yesterday. The Denisics were out there, Team Bravery. And Team Bravery, there's a Bravery hat that Carrie is wearing in that photo. I have some. If anybody would like some, by all means, reach out to me and we'll get you a Team Bravery hat. They're the coolest thing, and they certainly kept me covered all of my training this year. And it was my honor to wear that in honor of Avery Denisic from Saskatchewan. And so anyway, this is some of the folks that participated in the Founders Challenge. And I would like now to introduce someone who is rather inspiring, and that is Laura McCullough. Laura is the mother of a Duchenne boy, Cole, who passed away a while back, but she has always participated with us here in London in most cases. And she has done the Founders Challenge on her own when it wasn't really coined the Founders Challenge, but she would fly into London, walk with friends and colleagues and do something that was rather amazing. While others would come out and participate in the walk, Laura would start before everybody else and finish well after everybody else, but she made it an annual commitment to come to raise funds, to raise awareness from Saskatchewan. So Laura, welcome. Thanks for being with us again. As I mentioned, you did this earlier this year. We spoke to you back, I think, in April or early May. I don't think the weather was all that nice that day that you did this, but we thanked you then, and we want to thank you again because you've continued to carry on the tradition of walking 33K. So just wanted to certainly have you on to talk a little bit about why you're involved, what has inspired you so much, and then the whole idea of walking 33K is very inspiring, and it's certainly something that resonated with me when we chatted earlier this year.
Yes, thank you, Perry, so much. And thank you to everybody who walked today and who's been walking on whatever day that they've designated as their special day. Yes, I love that it's called the Founders Challenge. That's incredible. It's like it brings a new kind of meaning to the whole thing. We started doing this in London, I want to say in 2007, shortly after our son was diagnosed with Duchenne. We didn't really know where to turn. We were really young and he was our first child and he was a baby, and it was just kind of a fluke. That they found that he did have Duchenne, in fact. And we were desperate to have people who could understand, who we could connect to, and most importantly, who could give us some kind of hope, something to hold on to. Like it says on the back of this shirt, hope. If you don't have hope, you don't have anything. So a lot of researching, and Jesse's journey popped up on my computer, and I didn't even know anything about it. I just immediately got on the phone, and I'll tell you, John Davidson, he was there at our house like 2 days later. He was there personally to basically hold us and to tell us that everything was going to be okay, and that, you know, we're working on this thing and he's got this and he started this, and, you know, come along with him, he said, and we'll make this thing happen. And that's what we've been doing ever since. So I felt it necessary to honor John in that way. He's kind of like a dad to me in a way, because, you know, we fly to London and we do this 33K walk. We're the first ones to leave. We're the last ones to come across the finish line, hobbling, like dragging legs, we're dying. And everyone's gone but John. And John is standing there and he's waiting, and he's waited there this whole day. And he always says, "You did it, kid." And I think, you did it. You did it. And that's why we do it. And he's been the one. That's why we did it.
Right on. And, you know, when my wife and I finished today, John and Shireen were both at the finish line, and they made that effort to come down and see us, and it's a special thing. And it is a family of families, I think, that that John wanted to begin 25 years ago to unite people in this cause and to be able to share stories, build awareness, and ultimately raise more funds so that we can fund the best research in the world around Duchenne and move closer to treatments, but more importantly, move closer to a cure. So, you know, Laura, you're a special person. You and your family have supported this mission for many, many years, and we appreciate that. I'm speaking on behalf of not Jesse's Journey as much as I am, I think, on behalf of all the families. So thank you for all that you guys do in Saskatchewan, and really, truly an inspiration for me personally in terms of being able to think about, you know, what we were going to do, and just get out there today and go for a walk. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for sharing that story, and thank you for staying connected. It's really helpful, and I think it means a lot to other people.
Pleasure. It's all mine.
Thank you again. Well, it's a pleasure, and we don't know what 2021 brings, but I'm sure that you will in some way, whether it's in London or whether it is in Saskatchewan, be out there doing this again, and thank you for that. The McCullough family from Saskatchewan. And now we've got some awards that we wanted to hand out. You remember earlier this year, when we first launched, I think we launched, Rochelle, if I'm not mistaken here, I think it was back in February, because of course we were working toward the annual walk that Laura participated in, always in late May. And of course, COVID hit us in mid-March. And what we did was we sort of put the brakes on that. We knew that couldn't be possible. Then we thought we would do an in-person walk on this day in September, on World Duchenne Awareness Day, because it made a perfect connection to the organization that we are partnered with and the organizations around the world, because we believe that together is stronger. Then we realized very quickly that another in-person event was probably not likely. So with the world going virtual and everyone sort of getting up to steam on what that might look like, that's how we created the Founders Challenge and the virtual walk. And really everything fell into place for us. And I think in a much better way, because I think, as you can see on the leaderboard and all of the people participating, there are more families involved this year from coast to coast than we've ever had before. And you saw the map. We've not had that many families in various parts of the country represented before. So when that all was launched originally, we had an early bird draw for April. And then we extended that off to the early part of August, I think it is. And so we have some awards that we want to share this evening. Right now you're seeing some families that are on the top teams and participating. And I think that you would agree that, you know, there's a lot of different people here representing different places in Canada, and that is just great to see that we are uniting the Canadian Duchenne community. So thanks to each and every one of you. Thanks for reaching out to your community of friends and supporters and people that care about you. It's very meaningful, and brings a lot more people to be able to learn about the story of Jesse's journey. Including, I see a name on here that is Abram Wall out in Alberta. We met Abram last year in our educational family forum when we hosted that in early November back in Calgary. And Abram called me a few months ago, and he wanted one or more of John's books. And we got to chatting on the phone, and I had asked Abram how he got to know Jesse's Journey, and he didn't even know us before he came to the forum in Calgary. But he appreciated what he learned at that and understood that there's a Duchenne community that is bigger than what he may have known about before. So it's great to see that even Abram Wall in Alberta participated in today's event. So anyway, to the early bird draw that we had from early August, Sarah Stempfley, speaking of Alberta, of Calgary, she wins this. It's a $100 Visa gift card. We will get that out to you, Sarah, in the next couple days. She wins the early bird draw that was extended from early in April, then off to August. Top Youth fundraiser. This is an Amazon gift card for $50 will go to Dylan King for $1,500 raised. Laura McCullough, who you just met, she is the top adult fundraiser with raising over almost $14,000. Next there is the King family, Team Dylan. They raised over $16,000, so not a lot to spare between the two teams, but Team Dylan get a $50 Tim Hortons gift card. Laura McCullough will get a $50 Visa gift card. And the top social media award goes to Kasha Mitten out in Kamloops, BC, and the MASH movement. If you haven't heard of the MASH movement, you should. This is Kasha and her good friend Maggie. They are doing a great event through the month of September, which is 25 days long, and it's all about movement and yoga and various activities, but it's great fun, and you can get in on that if you haven't heard about that as well. It's classes that are posted or done live at least once per day till the 25th of September. So those are the awards. Now, about the final total. We are excited to share with you this evening in the Duchenne community that we have raised over $90,000 thanks to you. You and all of the families, all of the supporters across the country have helped us raise over $90,000 for Duchenne research, advocacy, education, and engagement. And you know, we talk about research a lot, but I also want to share with you that we are doing a lot on the advocacy front. Nicola Worsfold, who leads that area for us, if you are interested in working with us, please, by all means, reach out in that regard, as well as education. We tried last year to do 2 family forums. They were the first time we ever brought researchers to families, and we spread that out in different parts of the country, both in London and in Calgary. This year, we had plans to do them in person in Montreal and Vancouver, but those have had to go virtual. Earlier this year, we had a 4-part series, which was done through a series of webinars. Rick Moss is helping to lead that in terms of what that event looks like in working with Rochelle and with Nicola as well. And so we're trying to bring the best information about Duchenne and the lived experience for you, the families. So if there's any information that you feel we should be looking at, by all means, please touch base. We want to know from you what is important to you. It's going to make it a better program, certainly all the way around. But look for that coming up later this month. We will be announcing a new family forum, which will be virtual, but there's news coming on that later this month, as well as news coming on some research funding and a family advisory committee. So lots coming out over the next little while. Of course, this is Duchenne Awareness Day, but also Duchenne Awareness Month, at least the way we're working with it. And so look around tonight if you are in certain areas, because by all means, you certainly will see some Canadian landmarks that will be lit up in red. And if you follow the World Duchenne Organization, you will see some incredible landmarks around the world that are lit up in red this evening. And that's all to inspire people about Duchenne and create awareness as well. The CN Tower was lit last year. It will be lit again tonight. So if you're in the Toronto area, by all means, have a look at that. Rogers Place in BC, the Tower in Calgary, and many other places, Niagara Falls even. Now, as far as other things happening this month, we have Squad Up. If you haven't heard of it, essentially, it's game any way that you want, any day. But on September 26th, gamers who like video games, electronic games, or tabletop games come together with their family, and they can raise money and raise awareness. And there's going to be lots more information coming out over the next few days as well about that, or the next few weeks. September 26th is the gaming day that we have set aside. So we know that boys tend to like games and participate online with friends that they have as well. So if they're into that, by all means, check out Squad Up. And the MASH movement I mentioned a few minutes ago, it's $25 for 25 classes. That is Kasha and Maggie, and they continue to roll those out over the next few weeks, and we couldn't be more honored to have them involved in doing this. And we're trying to find ways to engage people both in the Duchenne community, but also outside the Duchenne community, to just get involved with us in whatever way makes sense for them. Some like gaming, some may like yoga or other forms of movement, and this is a way to involve as many people as we can. So anyway, lots there for everybody. But most importantly, as I said earlier, if there's anything that we can do to assist you as a family, please reach out to us. If you want to be involved, we're looking for people to be involved in many different ways. And you can certainly stay in touch with us through all of our social channels. But most of all, the phone number is there on the right-hand side of your screen, as well as emails. We're all easy to reach. It's usually our first name and @jessiesjourney.com if you want to reach out at any time. Thank you all very much for participating in whatever way that was for you today. It was an absolute pleasure for me to participate in walking. Got lucky and did it in the right weather, at least here in London. So thank you. And when I see the pictures across the country from all of you, from different parts of the country, that's very heartwarming for all of us, and know that we're here for you as the Duchenne organization here in Canada. So without further ado, I want to thank you. Thank you to our sponsors, and we look forward to our continued work with you in the future. Thank you.